show where I ask your favorite YouTubers why they do what they do. I'm your host Carl, MovieMob06 on YouTube. So let me get started by asking who you are, what your YouTube name is, and the style of videos that you do.
Okay, my name is Charles Trippy. I run several channels on a website called YouTube. I have youtube.com/CharlesTrippy, which is skits. It's been around for like 4 or 5 years now. It's one of my first channels. Then we have youtube.com/Charles, which is a daily homemade reality show type thing, kind of a day in the life of. And we're on a 1.5 years, about 510 days straight without missing a day. We have an iPhone channel. My fiance's got a channel. So kind of got a little bit of a little umbrella corp going on right now.
So why did you start doing YouTube?
I actually was at the right place at the right time with YouTube. A friend sent it to me almost like a week, actually probably a week or two after the inception of the site going live. And it was just a nice way to upload a video without having your bandwidth totally being sucked dry. Yeah, and I just stuck with it. It's a really cool site. Everyone was really helpful. There was a community almost instantaneously, and it just keeps you there and just keeps you entertained.
Right. So how's the internet influenced you?
That is a tough question, because I don't know how much the internet has influenced me or I've influenced. It definitely has a stronghold on things that I do. I don't think it's influenced my character or who I am, but it does help allow me to. I'm trying to think of the best way to answer this. It allows me to do the things that I've always wanted to do. So I guess it's bettered my life. I guess that's one way it's influenced me, I guess, or contributed helping me. I'm not really sure how to answer that exactly.
Okay. So what would you be doing if the internet, not just YouTube, didn't exist?
Wow, if the internet didn't exist, I actually don't know. I'd probably be doing exactly what I was doing. It's hard to tell because I grew up with it, so you just it's part of you. It's like what would you do without the television, or what would you have done without the cell phone or the telephone? You make do. I don't see. I think if I didn't know about it, I probably wouldn't miss it, to be honest with you, because you don't know what you're missing. It's a really tough question, but it'd be interesting more so to ask somebody like that, like older, who obviously went maybe through half their life, and then all of a sudden this thing called the internet popped up. And they'd probably be able to answer it a lot more. Growing up with it, like, it's just something you expect to be there. So, yeah, that is an interesting thing, because I mean, without the internet, I probably would have. I went to school, graduated. I'd probably be working a job. I'd probably be doing the social standard thing of getting a job, and continuing with life. Normally, I guess. I don't know.
Oh, okay. Do you think the internet will kill TV? Why or why not? And if so, when do you think it'll happen?
That's actually a really interesting question, because obviously with our show being called that, they ask us that all the time. And I do believe television is indeed suffering big time. And if it continues with what it's doing, I think they're probably going to go away. I don't believe it's going to be completely obsolete. I mean, I think there always is going to be, wait, I'm sorry, what? Allie keeps writing notes to me. Sorry.
That's fine.
I can't do the note thing. I was saying, oh yeah, so television, it'll probably have a problem, because it's kind of like the same thing that the record industry was going through with Napster and file sharing and MP3s. They were basically, greed was getting the best of them, and they were losing. Why would you pay for an album when you can get it for free. So then they came up with cheap downloadable things that they were able to adjust. And that's what I think TV is kind of doing with Hulu and like Vivo with music videos and things like that. That's their way of adapting, and that's a very smart thing, because otherwise I think television is going to win. I mean, internet's going to win hands down if they don't change, because it's free and you can do whatever you want. You know what I mean? And I think that with YouTube, it's also proving that you don't need to have millions upon millions of dollars to do something. You know what I mean? Like, many of the YouTubers are self-sufficient. Like, they work for themselves, they supply everything themselves, they make shows for like $100 or less or free, and they get the viewership of a television show. You know what I mean? So that was like a really long-winded way of answering that. If they don't change, and in my opinion they don't stop being greedy with what they're doing, they're gonna have a big problem probably in the next. I mean, it's happening now. To be honest with you, it's completely happening now. Shows are getting canceled. So I mean, like, in the next 5 years, it'd be even crazy. Because 5 years ago, when YouTube first came, you know, we weren't even thinking about that. But now that there's these talented people on the internet that are doing these things, that are achieving the success, that it's kind of rewriting the rules a little bit. And it's funny because TV networks are scared shitless, to put it blunt. I mean, they're just frantically trying to figure something out.
So, if you got a deal to do a TV show, would you take it? Would you stick with the internet? Or would you do both?
My goal isn't to get a television deal or anything like that. It would like, a lot of factors would play into it. What it is, obviously, who owns it, and basically what kind of controlling rights or contributions I would be able to play. Like, would it only live on the internet? I mean, on television, would I have rights to distribute it the way I want to? The problem is that's not likely when you're dealing with a TV show. So it would honestly just depend on what it was. I like the internet. I like being my own boss. I like being able to interact with people. I like to be able to make my own schedule. I like to employ people that are friends of mine, and I know we're going to get the job done. I don't want to have to rely on, like, I can rely on 3 people versus relying on a team of 200. You know what I mean? Like, I don't see that. And the problem is too, is I think people lose the connection with television. There's not, the interaction's gone. You get the comment section, which is a huge thing in videos, is that you get to interact and you can respond, and you form a mini community. I mean, they have TV shows who have like forums or message boards, but it's kind of here and there, and you know, it's not as tight. So I don't know. I don't see a television thing or deal or anything like that in the future, but it would be interesting to see what comes out of the next couple of years, though.
Okay. So is there anything else that you would like to add?
I can't think of anything. Yeah, I mean, no, I can't think of anything.
I would like to thank Charles Trippy of CTFXC for his interview this week. Please remember to subscribe to my channel for a new YouTuber interview every week. And if you haven't yet, subscribe to Charles' channels. The links are down below. Thank you, and I will see you next week.